Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns released on the 24th of September 2024, and in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, this update really missed the mark. And I'd like to talk about it because a month before it released, I talked about how the writing was on the wall, like this was never going to be good, and NetherRealm never failed to disappoint at this point. Following the combat cast, we were told about 3 additions to Mortal Kombat 1. Practice mode online, the Towers of Time, and the Warrior Shrine. Now, first thing I want to talk about here is the Warrior Shrine. The Warrior Shrine. The Warrior Shrine has been in development in this game since this game released. Because remember, the Warrior Shrine has always been there. It has always said Warrior Shrine, right? It's always been there. These niggas think I have time for this. Sparking Zero releases in 4 hours. Stop fucking with me. Hello? 3 hours and 46 minutes. Come on, come on. I don't have time for this, NetherRealm. Stop messing with me. I need to edit this video. I need to record, edit, upload all of this shit within 4 hours, bro. I don't even know how I'm gonna do this, but I gotta try. You could always scroll. I think it used to be where in the casual part, like next to King of the Hill, it used to say Warrior Shrine right there. Since this game came out in September 2023, in September 2024, they decided to finally release the Warrior Shrine. Now, after a year of development, right? After a year of this placeholder being here, a lot of people got expectations high for this game mode, right? A lot of people are thinking, okay, they might actually, what can this actually be? Like, this might actually be something that we can do in this game. Because unfortunately, for the first year of this game, there was nothing to fucking do except Combat League. There was nothing to do. There was nothing to do, yeah. Like, everybody knows this. Combat Cast comes around. The day before Khaos Reigns releases, the Combat Cast comes around. They're mentioned, they're about to show the Warrior Shrine. Can we please show past MAB's reaction to them saying that they were going to show the Warrior Shrine and show my face after I saw what it really was? Can we do that?
What the Warrior Shrine is.
Yes! Please tell me what it is. Please tell me what it is.
They don't got a clue in the fucking world.
And Paulo were able to be the top 5 players.
Yeah, we're very, very strong players.
We are amazing.
That's what the Warrior Shrine made me feel, right? That's what the Warrior Shrine made me feel. Because they thought it was a good idea to release a leaderboard that showed the best 5 Combat League players of every season, when we can literally just watch this, right? Watch this. If I cared so much about the ranking, guess what I could do?
Where do I check it? Where do I check it? You see where it says view leaderboard? I press square, right? Just hold on a minute, because for some reason they thought we were incapable of doing this if we cared so much about the leaderboards, right? I press square, I go to the rank. If I want to see who the best players are, of course, I go to the highest rank, right? So let's go back to the first season. Let's go back to the first season, the season of the Spectre, right? Season of the Spectre. Let's go to L1, I go to Elder God, right? Let's go to Elder God. Let's see who the top 5 Elder God players are. Because for some reason, they needed to add a whole other game mode just so that we could do something we could already do. Yeah. Like, number 1, nobody asked for this game mode. Don't please tell me who asked for this game mode, because I know it wasn't me.
GER, GMC, MK Tom Brady, Lan Kalo, Aqua X, Tour SEF, and no, yeah, those 5, right? So these 5 players ended up in the top 5 in Elder God in the first season of Mortal Kombat 1. So now in the Warrior Shrine, when I open the Warrior Shrine and I go to season 1, all 5 of those guys are there. So basically,
Why does this exist?
Like no, for real. I'm trying to remain calm. Why does this exist? I literally just showed you that you could do it already. Nobody cared about this. Nobody was like, I want to see who the #1 ranked Elder God player in Mortal Kombat. What? Like, nobody ever said that shit. What are we talking about, bro? Nobody wanted this. But it was in development for a calendar year, from September 2023 to September 2024. Bro, who asked for this game mode? Like, honestly, who asked? King of the Hill still doesn't have practice mode? You know? They could have been developing that for a whole year. But for some reason, like, what is this? Like, what? And it's the same statues every season? Where's Kano? Where's Cabal? Where's Scorpion and Sub-Zero? As maybe if why didn't they do statues of whoever their most played character was. But it's the same statues every time. It's Johnny, Sonya, Goro, Liu Kang, and Raiden. I assume this is to do at an original Mortal Kombat tournament. If not, I don't understand why these characters were chosen, but it would make more sense if it was the 5 characters that they actually played the most to get to that rank. If you pick those 5 main characters, obviously not the cameos, the main characters, I guess it would make more sense, but it's still like, what is this shit, you know? That's the first problem, because that's what they showed. I think that's the thing they showed first in the combat cast. They showed this. The second problem, my biggest problem, the second problem is this: the Towers of Time. When they announced the Towers of Time, it was an absolute red flag when they said they were replacing the Mesa thing in Invasions with Towers of Time. Already, alarm bells should have been going off. I should have clocked it when I was watching the combat cast. Can we play how excited I was when I saw this Towers of Time shit being added?
We have removed the Gateway Mesa, and we have replaced it with the new Towers of Time.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Good man yourself!
Towers of Time is a
Good man yourself. You see how stupid I look? You see how dumb I look right now? In Mortal Kombat 1, when you enter the Towers of Time, there are the first 3 towers you see. I'm pretty sure these first 2 on the left will always mirror your invasions level, right? So already you can see where they're going with this, right? I don't know if these are constantly. This one is constantly level 5. This one on the far left, once I noticed what this game mode was, I put it down very quickly. But I'm assuming this one mirrors your level, the first one. Second one is above you. It goes up, or maybe they all just go up to from 5 to 10. I'm not sure. But when you introduce invasions levels into a game mode that is not invasions, Towers of Time is not invasions. Towers of Time should be Towers of Time, not invasions. It shouldn't be part of invasions. Once you make it part of invasions, you already see what they're trying to do. They're trying to, again, funnel players into invasions to try and get us to play this game mode that we've said from the very start that no one liked. Nobody enjoys invasions, guys. Nobody enjoys invasions, and they still don't get it. How many times do we have to say we don't get invasions? We don't like it, bro. We don't want to play that game mode. We don't. When I look at this tower, the Dark Dragon fights, of course this one's gonna give you all the rewards, but guess what, mate? You gotta be level 30. How are you gonna get to level 30? You get levels from beating the towers, but it's not very efficient. Like, you level up pretty slowly beating the towers. You have to go into invasions to get up to level 30 to beat this tower, and it would be fine if, you know, the invasion season didn't reset every 2 months. So every 2 months to attempt these towers, I'm sure you don't have to be exactly level 30. Maybe you can do it from level 25 on with a couple of these consumable thingies like that you get. But you have to play invasions. It's all tied in with invasions. You have to play invasions. It's just an extension of invasions again. This is wrong. They needed to make Towers of Time its own game mode, right? It needed to be its own. Look at this tower right here. Unlock the past seasonal palettes, right? From invasions. The seasonal palettes from invasions, right? To unlock it, you need 2,500 crowns. Ladies and gentlemen, take a wild guess how you get those crowns. By playing invasions. You know I don't want to play invasions, and you still are trying to force this dick down my throat, bro. I'm gonna gag. I don't want to play this game mode. Like, I don't want to play invasions. Nobody wants to play invasions. I downloaded Mortal Kombat 11 to show you something. In the towers and in invasions in Mortal Kombat 11, I think the way you save these 2 game modes is by adding an AI fighter.
I can see what they're doing, what it's doing. I can see it, I feel it. It's cooking.
I just clicked that tower just to show you what happens when you click a tower. But if I go into MK11 right now, I downloaded the game just so I could show these things, right? The Towers of Time in this game were only bearable because an AI fighter existed. If there was no AI fighter in this game, no one would have touched this game mode. What are you talking about? It's too much. It's too much grinding. Once I enter this first tower, right? They want me to use Jackie. Fine, I can use Jackie. But you see at the very bottom of my variation, where it says AI fighter, I can press square. I can press X and choose Jackie. and I don't have to press another button for the rest of, well, I do have to press X every time a match ends, but I don't have to fight. And I think this is what made the towers bearable in this game, because the towers were always a grind. I'm not pressing a single button. I'll hold my controller up like this. The towers were always a grind in MK11. I would understand if you made it like so in MK1, if in invasions you could, and they should add this to invasions too. This is how you save both invasions and the towers. If you let us use an AI fighter for all the bullshit fights in between, and then for the final boss we have to do it ourselves, I understand. If I have to do it myself in invasions when I'm doing test your might, or I'm doing survive, or I'm doing a character trial, or I'm doing the robot exploding time trial thing, I don't mind that at all, because those are interactive game modes. But when I'm droning on and doing fights, and I feel like I'm slaving away at this game mode just to give you artificial hours in your game to make it look, people are playing Mortal Kombat. I know what y'all are doing. I'm not slow.
Are you sure about that?
They just want playtime to go up. Like, we know this, right? I know what you want to do, but just let me use the AI. Like, it exists in the game. Let's not pretend like you can't use an AI fighter in Mortal Kombat 1. I said the Towers of Time pissed me off, but I'm not gonna lie. This one might piss me off the most. Online practice mode. From my understanding, from my interpretation of online practice mode, I don't know what gave me this headcanon. I don't know what made me believe this, but when I heard online practice mode, maybe I was wrong to believe this, but when I heard about that, I thought, oh, I'll be able to queue into a match. I'll be able to queue into ranked or casual or King of the Hill while I'm practicing, right? No, nigga. Like you know, like Tekken 8 or like Street Fighter 6 or like Dragon Ball Fighters or even like Street Fighter Super Smash Bros Ultimate. You can practice in all of those games while you're queuing up. Why the fuck is this invite another player to practice mode? This is when I start to think that the developers of this game don't play this game. They don't play this game. How the f did you think this was a good idea? What is the target audience for this? Maybe if the game was in year 1, or not even year 1, sorry. If the game was in the first couple weeks and you wanted to go into practice mode with your mates, I get that, yeah? But why? Like, what is the... Who is doing this shit? Like, honestly, tell me what the use is for this. I'm trying to think content creation, like maybe YouTubers going into practice mode, f***ing around, like doing like a dialogue between characters, you know, maybe something like that. Why does this exist? Like, this is just so tone deaf. I think this just epitomizes how little they play this game. I want to be able to sit in practice mode. I want to be able to go to practice mode, right? I was talking to Forgive Jay the day this patch came out, and he was like, bro, how could you even think that they would do that? I'm like, this is the bare minimum. Like how I should be able to pause when I'm in practice mode like this. I should be able to pause and scroll down, and it should say queue into match, or it should say online, or it should say something right here. Queue. What do you want to queue into? Do you want to queue into casual? Do you want to queue into Combat League? Do you want to queue into King of the Hill? Do you want to queue into private matches? Do you want to queue into private King of the Hill? What do you want to queue into? I want to queue into private King of the Hill, please. Okay, you can practice while the loading screen is going. Like, it's 2024, and I don't understand what makes them think that it's a good idea to not add such a... It's a given. It's an open goal. Like, it's just standard now. But still, Warner Brothers and NetherRealm just can't do the basic shit. Like, I thought they were making steps in the right direction, but with Towers of Time, they'll add the Towers of Time, but it's tied to invasions. There's towers in there that you can only do, well, you can do it, you can attempt it if you're level 5, but the tower is level 30, right? There's a tower in there that you gotta pay 2,500 of the invasion's currency to access, right? You gotta pay 2,500 of that currency to access it. The Warrior Shrine, what are, like, this, the Warrior Shrine and the practice mode just shows how tone deaf these developers are. Who asked for these game modes? Practice mode and online, absolutely. Let me queue though. Like, I don't want to invite Nero or D Loki or forgive Jay into practice mode and play with them in practice mode. Just let me practice and queue into ranked. It's not that difficult. Like, why is that such a crazy concept? It's 2024. Tekken 8, you can do it. Street Fighter 6, you can do it. Whether those games also have microtransaction problems is besides the fact. They're doing the basics right. And you are just not doing the basics shite right. Come on, NetherRealm. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is the story mode. I wanted to leave the story mode to last because I personally wasn't. I was very clear in my reaction to the Khaos Reigns trailer initially. I was never really the guy to care about the story mode, but I'm paying the $50, right? I'm paying the €50. So
I'm kind of expecting something from the fucking story mode, right? Like,
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit pissed off as this video's going on. At this point, multiverse stories have gotten too far. I think the multiverse stories have become too convoluted. I'm gonna open the last chapter of story mode because this is the bullshit of this game. It's become too there's too much with this multiverse shit right now. It's gone out of hand. You introduced me to the Tanya and Rain storyline in the Khaos universe, but once you take me to another universe, you remove all weight from these characters. Cause I know this is not the same Tanya and Rain we're gonna go back home to. This is not the same Johnny Cage we're gonna go back home to. This is not the same Li Mei, Shao Kahn, or Sindel that we're gonna go back to. I know anything can happen to these characters, and it doesn't fucking matter, right? Anything can happen, and nothing matters. Nothing, because it's this multiverse convoluted story. I don't know why they decided to do this again. Can we just stop with the multiverse shit? Like, it's getting old. It's getting old very quickly, yeah? Titan Havoc doesn't even feel like the main boss. Like, he feels like a side character in this story mode, right? Because it feels like they marketed this story wrong. It feels like it should have been marketed as the Noob Saibot story because it was more like Noob Saibot means more to this story than Havoc does. Havoc is just a jobber in this story mode, right? Look at this. Noob, it's all about Noob. It's all about Noob. It's all about Bihan becoming Noob Saibot, right? And then at the end, instead of Liu Kang, they've been building up Liu Kang versus Noob Saibot for the whole story mode, right? They've been building up the whole time. And then it ends up being Noob Saibot versus Havoc. Havoc at the end of this game doesn't even feel like a boss. Like, he genuinely does not feel like a boss character. When you fight Havoc, he's got 2 health bars, and then he's got 1500 HP. And the only reason why it took me so long to fight Havoc the first time was because I didn't know how to play as Noob Saibot. But there's no universe where Havoc versus Noob Saibot. This is it. This is the final fight of the expansion pack. Havoc versus Noob Saibot. What the hell? Like, what is this, right? Now, watch this. In what world? Remember, Titan is a Havoc with 6 Kamidogus in his chest. In what world is this possible? Ladies and gentlemen, what the fuck is going on? What is this? How is Noob Saibot this powerful? What the hell is this? Like, what am I seeing right now? Noob Saibot should not be this powerful in any universe. How is he beating a Titan when he's not even a Titan? It should have been Liu Kang versus Havoc, but Noob Saibot beats Havoc. Havoc's done now. He's had his limbs have been ripped off, even though he was ripping his own limbs off in the previous cutscene. He was ripping his legs and arms off in the last cutscene. And all of a sudden, when Noob Saibot does it, it's lethal. Like, it's able to impair him. It's able to immobilize him. What is going on? Oh, he's powerful enough to beat Titan Havoc, but he's not powerful enough to break through Geras' magic. It's just all plot holes and double standards for this character can do it, but this character can't do it. Like, bro, like it's just so shit. And then the story ends with just Scorpion having a conversation with Cyrax. Like, what is going on? Like, what the fuck? when I ended the stream, I sat through all the credits. Because I was like, there's no fucking way they end it like this. They ended it like that. they really ended it with the conversation with Sector. Or not Sector, with Cyrax and Scorpion. Again, I'm not the type of guy to care about the story mode, but when the story mode is so obviously terrible, you kind of gotta say something. Like, it's kind of like, well, if I don't say something, I'm kind of, it's almost like I'm doing a disservice by not saying something. Like, it was shit. Like, it was really bad. Like, really bad. I didn't even think the first story mode was good either. But this story mode? Hell, mate. I don't know what they were smoking when they wrote this story mode, but it was not. It must have been that good shit. It must have been what Kodak Black had in that one video he did with ZS and Bilu. Like, bro, he must have had some shit. Yeah, I just believe the Khaos Reigns update, bro, it leaves a lot to be desired. I think this was their chance to bring this game back to life. I think they f***ed it. I think Towers of Time is a fuck up. I think Practice Mode Online is a fuck up. I think Warrior Shrine is a fuck up. I think the story mode is a fuck up. The balance patch is also a fuck up. I can't believe Johnny Cage is still as good as he is. I'm happy that they gave Havoc a lot of stuff, but Havoc's treatment needs to be given to everybody. They need to give everybody that. I think a lot of characters are good, but unfortunately, Johnny, Homelander, Havoc right now, Scorpion Farah, Sindel Lau has been good since day one. Like, Sindel Lau is still good, right? Like, there's teams there that, I mean, you can go into Combat League and play as General Shao and Tremor and have fun, but you'll get to a point where you'll start losing a lot and it won't be fun anymore. You know what I mean? Like, the balance patch needed to give all the characters this sort of treatment. Of course, Sector, Cyrax, and Noob, I think, are fine. Like, people say Noob Saibot isn't great, but like I think he's got 50-50s. He can do setups. He's got weird shit. You know, Cyrax is incredible. She looks really, really good. And I think the worst thing they can do is go and nerf Cyrax. I think that's not what you do. I think what you do is, if you're playing against Cyrax, just pick Sub-Zero. They need to register her bombs as projectiles. Look how this story mode ended. It just ends like that. Credits. Like, it's a comical joke. It's not real. It should, if it's not already, I think it should be registered as a projectile. Like, they need to give it that, because if you register it as a projectile, it makes it a lot less toxic, you know? Like, if you can wake up into Sub-Zero freeze, it's alright. I think you can it takes that away from her. I think she has other good tools, but the reset loops are what make her really good. And I think taking that away from the character just takes her identity away. I don't agree with that in the slightest. The characters are always going to be good, but the other stuff is the more important stuff, because the other stuff is what gives the game longevity. Every time they add characters, people are like, oh my god, MK1 is back. But like, the fundamentals of the game are still fucked up. Like, there's still nothing to do outside the Combat League. You can do Towers of Time, but you gotta do invasions first. And excuse me, nobody wants to do invasions. It's NetherRealm trying to kill me right now. Nobody wants to play invasions, right? Nobody wants to do it. Like, genuinely and honestly, nobody wants to do it, alright? I think they need to add AI fighters to invasions and Towers of Time to make both game modes playable, like, or at least like consumable, right? And I think they need to add online practice mode for queuing, like queuing into online and playing matches while I'm in practice. You need to add that. It's so dumb that it's not in the game already. You need to add it. It's 2024, right? They also need to add a new online game mode, or do you need to add practice mode to King of the Hill? Like, it's there, it's right there. Just add practice mode to King of the Hill. You could add online practice mode in private, so add the practice mode to King of the Hill. Okay? That's all I've got to say. I don't want to now. I don't want to be the guy who's always being negative and criticizing Mortal Kombat, but like, they're not giving me enough things to be positive about. So, like, Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to sit here and pretend like this update didn't disappoint me more than anything? Because it did. I genuinely thought this update was going to be good, and it just is what it is. Like, I can't change any of that. So fortunately for me, I've got this baby 3 hours away. In 3 hours, me and my brother are going to be playing Sparking Zero together. Probably not on the channel, but I have got a Sparking Zero video this week. Frieza. I've got the best intro I've ever made for that, so be ready for that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.